Hey everybody, it's me, Cyrus. Welcome back. Well, you know that I'm a big fan of writing, of projects that people work on where they want to share their personal stories about video games and things like that. I'm a huge fan of Sega. You guys know that. My next issue of my magazine is all about Sega. And another author who has spent a considerable amount of time and effort to chronicle his personal story with Sega, he sent me a copy of his book, a digital copy, and I wanted to share a little bit of it with you. I'm not going to share obviously the whole book because you really should check this out for yourself, and there's some links in the description if you're interested in what this book is all about. You can find out more about it, decide if it's something that you want to purchase or whatever. This is not sponsored content. I am not being paid for an opinion here. He literally didn't ask anything of me at all. He just wanted to send this to me and was like, "Hey, check it out if you want." And I asked him if I could talk about it, and he said sure. And I'm actually hoping to have an interview with him on Retro Rambling at some point. We've been trying to schedule it, but he's busy, I'm busy, you know how that goes. But anyway, trying to work that out. But I do respect people who will put this much effort into something like this. You know, sometimes we as gamers feel compelled to share our love of the thing that fascinates us, this video game genre, you know, this platform that we all love so much. And sometimes if you have the time, if you have the patience, if you have the commitment, if you have the passion, then you want to put something together. You want to work on something. You want to make something yourself. And if you can make something that you can share with other people who are of a similar mind, and maybe they'll enjoy some of it too. Maybe they'll learn something from it. Maybe they'll just, if nothing else, appreciate your perspective, then that's a pretty cool thing. And I'll tell you what, reading Pete's book here has been very fascinating to me. He's European, so his interpretations of Sega, his experience with this company and with the different consoles and other things too, not just Sega stuff. It really, you know, reading this book has been really fascinating to me because, you know, in America, I grew up where, you know, when I was a kid, Atari was big, then Nintendo was big. Sega didn't really get on people's radar here until the Genesis came along, or the Mega Drive for him. But he had a different experience and a different relationship with Sega, where the Master System was very popular, very well known. People had that console, were playing those games, and for me, the Master System was this like weird, undiscovered territory that I came across. I mean, I was aware of, but I didn't really get involved in until later, and nobody else that I knew cared about the Master System or owned a Master System. So it was a very interesting experience for me in that way. His experience is very different from that. And he talks about, as he goes through the book, his different relationships with his friends and the games that he played and what the consoles had to offer. His first Master System was the Master System 2, which, you know, that's an interesting situation as well. It's a great book. So much of this book is filled with his original artwork. He's actually, you know, used some obviously screenshots of games and instruction manuals and boxes and stuff like that. But a lot of what's in here is original artwork. And you can see he spent a lot of time thinking about how to discuss this stuff. And he's got like a timeline that he goes through, talking about his personal timeline with Sega, which goes back and forth. It's not just a straight run through of like 8-bit to 16 to 32 and so on. Like, it's a very interesting way of presenting this. And the artwork, like I said, is really fascinating. And I'm not going to show you everything. I am skipping around here. I just want to show you a little bit about what the book has, how the layout of the book is, some of the content that's in here. He talks about his relationship with his friends and how they shared the different console experiences and the different experiences with specific games. Some of his friends liked games more than he did, this sort of thing. He also talks about like his relationship with his parents and how his parents, how they viewed this experience with him and what they did, like as far as like when, you know, they would go to town and they would pick out games, or his dad would be like, you can get 2 games, and his solution to that was to get like one game that was a standalone game and another game that had like a bunch of games on it, like a multi you know, release game. I related to so much of this. It was really fascinating. He talked about how his mom really liked Bomberman, which I thought was really fascinating, on the Sega Saturn and on the Genesis. And man, when he started to talk about his relationship with the Sega Saturn especially, I was like, oh man, this goes straight to my heart. This is exactly the way I felt about the Saturn, especially when he's talking about Sega Rally. I was like, wow, very, very cool stuff. But there's so much detail here, and you can see, like I said, he spent a lot of time on the presentation, on the artwork, on the layout. You know, it's all original artwork. You know, whatever you want to think about it, it's pretty cool that he has put that effort into all the different things that are here. I think it's a fascinating read. I thoroughly enjoyed reading it. I really enjoyed the layout, the way he keeps things interesting by including all these little bubbles about different things. I mean, it's not just Sega he's talking about. He talks about other consoles as well. Even like the GameCube gets mentioned in this, and the Xbox obviously, and so on. Yeah, he'll go back and forth. You'll think, okay, we're talking about Dreamcast, now it's on the Xbox. Oh wait, back to Master System. We're going to talk about Aladdin, which, what a great game to talk about. Just a fascinating book. Really cool stuff. And like I said, I don't want to show you everything. You should check it out for yourself. The book is called My Life with Sega. It's by Pete Gibbins. You can find it online. I'm going to include some links in the description. You can read it yourself, but it's pretty cool. I definitely think that we should, you know, if we care about something, share that with others. If we see other people doing something that we think is pretty cool, there's no reason to not support other people's stuff if they're doing something that we like. I don't see any problem with that. I think that's what we should be doing in the community, is trying to spread good stuff, you know, trying to make this community inclusive to people, trying to make sure when somebody's doing something cool, give them, you know, give them what you can, give them the attention you can, help other people learn about it, because man, what a great thing, what a great book. So Pete, thank you so much for sending me the digital copy of your book. Thank you so much for putting this amount of care and attention and detail into the book, for sharing your personal experience with Sega, with your family, with your friends, with you personally. Thank you so much for writing something and putting together something this cool. So yeah, I do recommend it. I think it's cool. This is, again, not a sponsored video, not paid to say this. This is what I'm not even reviewing the book. I'm just giving you my synopsis and my general thoughts about it. And I'm encouraging you to check it out for yourself. Go look at it, see if it's something that interests you, and maybe you can pick it up and decide for yourself what you think about it. And if you have something to share where you've put a lot of work into a website or a book or a magazine or whatever, you know, please send it to me. I mean, I'm just asking. I don't mind talking about it. I mean, you don't have to send me everything, but send me whatever you feel comfortable with. I'll talk about it. I'll share it with other people, and they can decide what they think about it. So yeah, that's about all I got to say. It's a great book. I like it, and I think you might like it too. So Maybe I'll have an interview with Pete coming up. We'll see how that goes. But for now, guys, thanks for your support. Thanks for checking out the channel. And there'll be more stuff coming soon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.